Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. You're at Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Well, this is a beer they probably would not have drank at Cheers, although I guess if you were there all day, you might want to drink something super light like this. Another beer I got from Tavor, from Anchorage Brewing Company from Alaska. It's time, ... Table Saison. Fermented oak tanks with saison yeast, naturally carbonated, 3.5 ABV. And again, really cool comic book label. Looks like the Crow or Sandman or something. No canning date. Odd. Anyway, I had a feeling it was going to foam up, so I poured it into the really big American wheat beer glass, and I was right. I mean, it's a pale straw coming out of the can, and it's got a bit of a haze to it. Not as hazy as a hazy IPA, and I mean, obviously big, foamy. That's like soap suds foam. It's been actually a few minutes since I poured it, and it's still sticking around. So let's give this thing a smell. Okay, lovely kind of fresh scent. I thought this might be a little sour or bready, but no, I get like I'd probably call it like a citrusy essence, but not like the actual fruit per se. Has like almost like a like cleaner kind of smell to it. Like, a lot of cleaners have like a lemon smell to them. That's probably a bad example. I mean, it just smells. It's a bit lemonade-y. There's a little bit of like a spice in there, almost like a coriander or something. I don't know if that's yeast or actual. They didn't mention spices on here, so it's got to be the yeast. Yeah, it's a pretty familiar saison, or like, well, this is a table saison, which I guess would actually be a grisette. So let's see what we're in for here. Cheers. Wow. Yeah, I went into this thinking this was going to be similar to 𝗓𝗂'𝗃 from Jester King, because that's also a 3.8 saison, but that one has a like a sourness to it, and this one I would say is like lightly sour and definitely a little tart, but I think a lot of that tartness comes from like the wheat. Yeah, it's not so much that it's I don't even know if I would go as far as say this is sour. It's almost like a suggestion of sour, but it's definitely like there's an acidity here. And I know that probably sounds bad, but it's actually quite good. So it's giving like this slight kind of lemonade character. So like I'm like if you ever had 𝗓𝗂'𝗃 from Jester King, take that beer and like dial down the sourness a lot, and that's what you have here. It's actually pretty common for a lot of saisons to have like a kind of sour or Brett character to them, or both, and that's what's going on with this one. There's an underlying spiciness on there. I can feel it from like start to finish. This lovely, like I said on the nose, it's almost a little coriander, possibly orange peel, or almost like a something herbaceous like rose hips or like juniper berries, something like that. Yeah, and then also like the actual like a nice weedy, like, or dare I say hay or straw kind of flavor. This is not cooked bread. I would not call this bready. It's like the grain. It's the pre-kiln, pre-baked grain. Yeah, really refreshing. Should be. It's only 3.5. Easy to drink too. I think using this wide mouth glass really helps, because it's actually really highly carbonated. So I mean, it's the body. I would say, yeah, it's light. It's on the higher end of light. Yeah, this is one of my favorite things. As doing this whole everything, being a beer nerd, is like when you get the 3.5 ABV beer that is just like has complexity, real flavor to it. Doesn't just taste like slightly hopped water or something like that. Although hop water actually is a thing now. Yeah, I mean, like, this has less ABV than Bud Light, but this has like 10 times more flavor than that. I don't think maybe it doesn't have quite as much flavor as like some of these bourbon barrel aged 15% stouts, but I mean, for such a light beer, it's such a pack full of flavor. Yeah, really tasty. My only, well, it's not really a complaint, but I mean, I kind of wish that they had leaned into like the sourness or Brett. Like there, as far as I can tell, there's no Brett in here. In fact, I don't think there's any lacto in here either. It just has like a slight acidic character to it. So if they did this one like mixed culture or Brett or both, that would be great. This is definitely something that you would want to drink like all day in the summer, but this is not a cheap beer. It's only $7.99 on Tavour, which is pretty good considering it's coming all the way from Alaska. But you know, it is only 3.5s. But yeah, so if you want to get cool beers like these you can't get in your local shop, use my Tavour link. That gets you $10 off, and listen to the I sent you. This is definitely a 9, maybe 9.5. I don't think it's quite a perfect 10. I don't know. Like, I don't know if like a beer that light could ever get a 10 in my book. Well, I mean, like I said, maybe it was a little sour or Brett or something, you know, like that might push it up to a 10 for me. If I'm judging this to spec, this is like probably at least a 45 out of 50, maybe 47 or 48. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for Whiskey Wednesday. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review.
Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.